Good morning, dear children. In this video, we are going to discuss Chapter 1 Sources of Food Part 2. The topics covered are what animals eat. In this, we are going to discuss about herbivorous, carnivorous, and omnivorous. And the next topic is parasite, then scavengers and decomposers, food chain, and food problem. So children, in this video we are going to discuss these topics. Children, here we are going to discuss about what animals eat. Children, you might have seen that if you have a pet dog or a cat at home, yes, then you will surely be aware of the food these animals eat. So children, you will be aware that what food these animals will eat. They will drink milk and eat bread, chapati or meat. Still in this picture you can see the dog and the cat. Both these animals will eat the food items like bread, they will drink milk, eat chapati and eat meat. So children, can you tell what other animals eat? So children, in the next slide we are going to discuss that what the other animals will eat. Children, now we are going to discuss activity 6. Here you have to find out the food of the animals. So children, here you have to find out what food the following animals will eat, and here then you have to note down the findings in the given table. Children, here there is a table 1.5 animals and their foods. Children, here you can see the animals and the food items they eat. So children, here you can see dog will drink milk, eat bread, chapati and meat. Similarly, cat will drink milk, eat bread, chapati and meat. Squirrel, you can see children, they will eat seeds, nuts, fruits and small insects. Pigeon, they will eat corns, wheat, cereals and seeds. Lizard will eat insects. Cockroach will eat sweets, flowery foods and etc. And horse will eat grass, hay, grains and other items. And cow will eat grass, hay, grains and oil cake. So children, here we have discussed the food items that the different animals eat. Now here we are going to discuss about the different animals have different food habits. We observe that different animals have different food habits. So children, here you observe what that different animals are having different food habits. Some eat only plants. So children, here we can see that herbivorous, they eat only plants. Some eat only flesh. So children, here we can see that carnivorous, they eat only flesh of the animals. And some eat both. So children, here we can see omnivorous, they eat both plants and animals. So on the basis of these food habits, we classify animals into herbivorous, carnivorous and omnivorous. Still on the basis of these food habits, we are going to classify the animals into herbivorous, carnivorous and omnivorous. Now we will discuss about herbivorous. So children, here you can see animals that eat only plants and plant products are called herbivores or herbivorous animals. So children, here in this picture you can see all these animals, they are eating only plants or plant products. That's why they are called herbivorous animals. So children, here we can see the examples of these herbivorous animals: goat, deer, rabbit, sheep, cow. These all are the examples of herbivorous animals. Now we are going to discuss about the special characteristics of herbivorous. Children, as you know that most of the herbivorous have wide and blunt teeth which are suitable for grazing and grinding. So children, here you can see that what herbivorous, they are having the wide and the blunt teeth. Because of that only they are able to graze and grind the food that they eat. Some herbivorous like cows, bulls and camels have the ability to bring back the previously swallowed grass or other food items to the mouth for re-chewing. So children, here you can see that some herbivorous like cows, bulls and camels, what they have the ability to bring back the food again to the mouth, and then they start re-chewing the food. Because of that they have the ability to absorb what more nutrients from the food. Some herbivores like squirrels have a pair of sharp incisors teeth in both the jaws. So these teeth are used to gnaw the food items like nuts. So children, here you can see in this picture that the squirrel is having a pair of sharp incisors teeth both the jaws. Because of that they are able to eat the food items like nuts. Some herbivores like butterflies and hummingbirds, they have a straw-like mouth parts to suck the nectar from the flowers. So children, in this picture you can see the butterfly. It is having a straw-like mouth structure. So because of that what they are able to suck the nectars from the flowers. Now we are going to discuss about carnivorous. Animals that eat only the flesh of other animals are called carnivores or carnivorous animals. So children, here you can see the animals that eat only the flesh of other animals. They are called carnivorous animals. So children, here we can see the example of the carnivorous animals: lion, tiger, eagle, wolf. These all are the example of carnivorous animals. Children, now we are going to discuss the special characteristics of carnivorous. Carnivorous have sharp and pointed canines tearing teeth, along with sharp claws and powerful jaws which help them to tear the flesh. So children, in this picture we can see that the tiger is having a sharp and a pointed teeth. With the help of that teeth he is able to just tear the flesh of the animals, and with the help of the sharp claws and the powerful jaws it is able to tear the flesh of the dead animals. Some carnivores like chameleons and frogs have a long and sticky tongue which help them to catch the insect. So in this picture you can see the chameleon. Because of its long and sticky tongue it is able to catch the insect. Similarly frog also is having a sticky tongue. Because of that it is able to catch the insect. Now here you can see that eagle have a curved and a pointed beak which help them to tear the flesh of their prey. So in this picture you can see that the eagle is having what? A curved beak, and because of that it is able to tear the flesh of the prey. Shark is a carnivorous fish and it have several small and sharp teeth that help them to bite off the flesh. So in this picture you can see that the shark is having a small and sharp teeth. Because of that it is able to bite off the flesh of the other fish in the sea. Now we are going to discuss about omnivorous. Animals that eat both the plant products and the flesh of other animals are called omnivorous or omnivorous animals. So children, here we can see that the animals that eat both the plants product and the flesh of the other animals, they are called omnivorous. So children, here we can see the example of the omnivorous: human, bear, rat and cockroaches. These all are the examples of omnivorous animals. Now children, here we will see the special characteristics of omnivorous. Omnivorous have different types of teeth that help them to eat both the plants and the flesh of other animals. So children, here you can see the characteristic of the omnivorous is that they have the different type of the teeth. Because of that they are able to eat both the plants and the flesh of other animals. Now here we can see omnivorous birds like crows. They have a sharp and a pointed beak. Now children, here you can see that what? The crow, it is having a sharp and a pointed beak. Because of that it is able to eat the flesh of the dead animal. Such type of beak is helpful in eating the variety of food items. Because of this beak they are able to eat the variety of the food items. Now we are going to discuss about parasites. Animals that live or inside the body of other living animals or plants and obtain food from them are called parasites. So children, here you can see that the animals that live on the body of the living animals or inside the body of the living animals to obtain the food, so they are called what? Parasites. So children, here we can see the example of fleas. Now you can see here a dog. In this picture, children, you can see that the flea is outside the body of the dog, and the dog is just scratching because that flea is worrying the dog. So here the flea is the parasite. Similarly, children, you can see more example of the parasites. Fleas, leeches and bugs are the some example of parasites that live outside the body of the other animals. So here you can see these are the examples of the parasite that are living outside the body of the animals. Leeches. Children, you might have seen these leeches. These leeches also what they get stick to the bodies of the animals, and they just suck the blood from the animals, or if they just get stick to the body of the human being also. There also you can see that just it is sucking the blood of the animals or human beings. Similarly, bug you might have seen, they also the parasite and they live outside the body of the animals. Children, now we are going to discuss about some parasites. Some parasites like roundworms, tapeworms, pinworms and hookworms live inside the bodies of the animals. So children, these parasites are the parasites which live inside the bodies of the animals. So you can see in this picture the roundworm, then the tapeworm, pinworm and the hookworm. These parasites observe the food digested by the host. So here you can see that this parasite what they are just observing the food that is digested by the host. Scavengers. Some animals and birds eat the flesh of the dead animals, and such animals and birds are called scavengers. Children, here you can see that some animals and birds, when they eat the flesh of the dead animals, and what such animals what they are called, children, they are called scavengers. Children, here you can see in this picture jackal, hind and vulture. This all what are the example of scavengers. Why? Because they eat the flesh of the dead animals. That's why they are called scavengers. Now we are going to discuss about decomposers. Some living organisms in nature, like some of the fungi and the bacteria, they feed on the dead of the plants and the animals and decompose them. So children, here you can see that the living organisms in the nature like what? Fungi and bacteria. This what they are feeding on the dead of the plants and the animals, and then they are decomposing them. So this organism what? They are called decomposers. And children, here you can see what? The scavengers and the decomposers keep the earth clean. Now children, here you will see that how the scavengers and decomposers are keeping the earth clean. They are keeping the earth clean by just eating the dead of the animals, dead body parts of the animals. Because of that only they are able to keep the earth clean when all the animals are eaten by these scavengers and decomposers. So what will happen, children? You can see that the earth will be clean. Children, now we are going to discuss about food chain. We know that the ultimate source of energy on the earth is sun. So in this picture, children, you can see that the ultimate source of energy for life is sun. We know, children, that the plant prepare their own food with the help of photosynthesis. That's why they are called producers. So here you can see that they are manufacturing their own food. Animals cannot utilize the energy radiated by the sun directly for their activities. Now children, here you can see that animal cannot utilize the energy directly by the sun. What they do? They eat the food from the green plants and then they perform their activities. Only the green plants can utilize the solar energy to prepare food, because the green plants contain a pigment called chlorophyll which traps the solar energy. So children, here you can see that green plants, they can utilize the solar energy and then they can prepare their own food. And you can see, children, in this picture that the green plant is containing a pigment called chlorophyll. Because of that it is able to trap the solar energy. Children, here we can see that animals get energy by eating green plants. Children, as you know that how the animals will get energy when they will eat the green plants. So children, here we can see one example of food chain. For example, a deer herbivore eats green plants. So children, here you can see that how the deer will get energy when it will eat the green plants. And here you can see again the lion eats the deer. So how the lion will get the energy when he will eat the deer, then he will get the energy. So in this way the food chain will work. Deer eats the plant and lion eats the deer. Now here we can see that all animals, whether herbivorous or carnivorous, directly or indirectly depend on the plants for the food. So children, here you can see that the herbivorous and the carnivorous, they are depending directly or indirectly on the plants for the food. So children, in this picture you can see the food chain. Grasshopper eats the grass, mice eats the grasshopper, and snake eats the mice, and the hawk eats the snake. And after the hawk dies, so children, what you can see? Here you can see that the fungi breaks the body down, and then what happens? It turns into nutrients. Then this nutrients, what happens? Again children, along with the help of the sun and the water, again the grass is grown. So in this way children, the food chain is working, as you can see. This feeding relationship among the organism is called food chain. So children, here we can see that this relationship is called, it is called a food chain. Thus food chain can be defined as a series of organisms linked together. So children, in this picture we can see the food chain. It is defined as a series of organisms and it is linked together. And here we can see that the process of eating and being eaten for the food. So here children, we have done with this food chain. Now we are going to discuss about food problem. Children, here you can see that many people in a country do not get enough food to eat. So here we can see that people are not getting enough food to eat in a country. There is a shortage of food. So here we will see the reason why there is a shortage of food. This is because many people cannot buy enough food due to poverty, and this is called the food problem. So first children, we can see that there is a shortage of food, and second, what children, people are not having money. Because of that they are not able to buy the enough food. Why? Because of the poverty. So this is the food problem for the poverty, that is for the poor people. Here we are going to discuss the food problems of country that can be solved in following ways. First, we should grow more food crops by using modern methods of farming. So children, here you can see, by this modern method of farming we will be able to grow more food crops. And then next you can see that how we have to store the food. We have to store the food grains properly. Why? Because if we will not store the food, then insects will harm the food. So here you can see second point, we should store the food grains properly so that they are not eaten by the pests like rats, insects, birds, or spoiled by microorganisms. So here we can see this insects, locusts, beetles, snake and scorpion. So these insects can harm the food grains. So we have to take care of the food grains and we have to store it properly in a careful way. Children, here we can see that we should not waste food in any way. So children, what we have to not waste the food in any way. Overeating leads to obesity. So children, in this picture you can see a boy. If you will eat more food, it will lead you to obesity. Like that boy is eating the burger and sandwiches and all. Then what will happen? That person will suffer from obesity. So we should take simple food in our day-to-day life. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. And if we will eat extra food, so what will happen? We will suffer from this obesity. We should not take more food than we eat. So children, we should take that much food only in a plate that we are able to eat. We should not take more than that food. We should consume all the food we eat in a plate. So children, if you are taking that much food in your plate, that much you should eat, that full food from your plate. A large amount of food is wasted due to poor management at parties and social functions. So children, here you can see that in large amount of food what it is wasted. Why? Because of the poor management in the parties and the social functions. So that much only food we should take, how much we are able to eat. We should not take extra food. If we will take extra food, so what will happen? It will get wasted. Thank you children. Your chapter 1 sources of food is complete.